we need to talk about the YieldMax ETFs. I put $100 into each of them, turned drip on, and I've been watching their progress in 2025. Now, some have really surprised me in a good way, and some in a really bad way, which has been very disappointing to see. But overall, I like tracking the overall return, how many dividends have been paid, and NAV erosion for each of these funds, because it is a key part of what I invest in. So if you are interested in the YieldMax ETFs, in weekly dividends, in making money in the stock market with income, you are in the right place. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe so you never miss free updates on what is making people the most money. Let's roll that intro. Doing this video a little bit backwards. I want to show you guys all of the distributions we've gotten because it's a really important factor, and then we'll look at the total return on Robinhood. I will say again, the portfolio is in the green, which is impressive. I've plugged in all the dividends for May, and I've factored in the increases in shares and decreases or increases in the average cost. We can see CONY has paid $7.34 this month, which is outstanding. We love to see it. TSLY, $7.14. Both of these near all-time highs. CONY had a higher dividend in February, but I'm glad we're back into these sevens. It's just good news all around, except for the price drop, which we will get to. Then we have YMAG, paid out $5.82. I don't know what these weekly payers have been on, but they have been paying out like mad. YMAX included. So we had the highest dividend from YMAG. $5 is amazing. And again, you're getting $1 a week plus some. And then we have YMAX, $6.68, completely blowing it out of the water for all the rest. It hadn't paid over $4.50 up until this point. Absolutely amazing. Speaking of amazing, AMZY paid $4.63. This is interesting. It's very high, but AMZY has been a little disappointing to me. It's not doing great. The price has fallen, and I think Amazon stock has been doing fine, but because Amazon seems to be more steadfast, I'm guessing that the implied volatility for AMZY is just lower, and that's why we're continually seeing low distributions. Doesn't make me happy, but I do understand the logic behind it. At least I think that I do. So those are our first five. Let's slide into our next five. Here's where we are really going to start making some money. So NVDY paid $8.91. Absolutely nuts. Don't know why. It just rocketed back up. Implied volatility must have been nice. I'm really happy with this. We did see NVIDIA climb in price, but that's more recent. Last month, I don't think it was doing great. Slow and steady climb, I guess, was enough to kick out a monster dividend, nearly $9. Speaking of dividends, $9 and up, MSTY. The fan favorite, probably the most popular, paid $11.45, its highest dividend of the year. Now again, don't forget, this is per $100 invested almost exactly. This is not per share. I get that question a lot. $100 invested. Now we can see XYZY, the most disappointing one in the account. I will say it's down 30% plus, paid $2.61. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the underlying stock that's just tanking. I know that that is part of it, but the implied volatility is still low as well. So a big bummer. I mean, $2 in dividends is awful. Absolutely awful. Speaking of, if you guys are interested in dividends and in growth and in everything in between, talking about the stock market, I'm working with Marcos Mia, and we put out our first podcast episode. I'll link it down below and at the end of this video for those of you that are interested. We had a blast filming it. We talked about MSTY primarily and how it competes with things of the growth status like VOO and what you would do with $100,000 invested in both. So check that out if you guys are interested. We had so much fun, and there will be more to come on that channel, so go subscribe over there as well. Then we see our absolute record-breaking highest dividend we've received in this account, PLTY, $14.28. Six times what XYZY paid out in just a month. 6 times plus. PLTY, if you don't know, PLTR has been absolutely launching. It ran from $80 to $130, and then it keeps pushing to all-time highs. There's a lot of news going on. There's world conflicts, which unfortunately, with those going on, we do see some shifts in the stock market, and PLTY is taking advantage of that for sure. Then we have ULTY. This is one that's really popular in the weekly dividend ETF community because it's very cheap. It's about $6 per share, and what that means is you can stack shares very, very quickly. With only $100, I'm usually able to buy another full share within a couple of weeks. And all that means is the compounding effect is going to go insane. Now, I will say ULTY before it shifted to weeklies was terrible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The shift to weeklies has really helped it, and it's been positive since then, but we bought this before it shifted to weeklies. So the monthly dividends weren't very solid, and the price was falling like crazy. If you ever want to go see NAV erosion, like the definition of it, I'm sorry, but ULTY was a key component with that NAV erosion. So I'm very impressed with this. I'm going to slide all the way to the side, and we're going to see how our month of dividends compared. Holy smokes. We made $76.77. That's outrageous. We made 7.5% in just distributions. Unfortunately, some of these fell, and some of them fell really terribly, undercutting all of these gains. So we will get into that in just a moment on Robinhood, but I am very happy with what we're seeing. I mean, nearly $100 in dividends in a month from just $1,000 invested. That is hard to beat. If we can conquer this NAV erosion issue, these could be outstanding. I mean, look, $44 the prior month. The highest up to this point was $58.64, and now we made $76.77. Totally wild. I'm really pumped with this account, and I want to know what you guys think. Should I continue the YieldMax ETF account? I've got a lot going on, all good things, of course, but I do want to know if you guys are still interested in following up with all of these ETFs over the course of the next year. All right, let's get into the Robinhood app and see exactly how well these are performing. Good old Robinhood. I have not used Robinhood as my primary investing platform for a while, but there are some good memories here. So what we're going to be able to see is we're going to go through all 10 of the stocks selected, and I put $100 each into them. So we're going to find out exactly what they're worth. That's our total return. So if they're in the red, even with dividend reinvestment on, they will be in the red. So we can see CONY is down. It's down 5.5%. Not great. Our $100 is now worth $94.36. Again, let me know if you're like a diehard CONY fan in the comments, because I'm not seeing it yet. I will say we can jump into the chart really quick and look over the last 3 months. It is doing better. It's up 4%. Year to date, though, it is down 35.5%. But if you had scooped up some shares in this $7 to $6 range, you would be sitting pretty nicely with price appreciation as well as the dividends that it has been paying out. So not too pumped with this one, but we have to give it more time. Crypto's kind of been all over the place, near all-time highs, though. So that's what I'm a little bit disappointed in with CONY. TSLY is another one that's been all over the place. Elon Musk, he started working for the government, and now he stopped working for the government. And you guys know I am a diehard Tesla fan, and that should say something because I am not a fan of TSLY. Now, I have owned this in the past for past challenges just like this, but I mean, it's just not doing it. It really isn't. Then we get into YMAG, which of course a lot of these were really beaten down with the drop in the market. YMAG, we see it's down 1.3%. Not terrible. The dividends do make a really big difference with that one, and it's been kicking out better dividends. So if you bought this at the right time, you could be up quite nicely. And this is going to be a reoccurring theme with a lot of these. If you purchased any of these down in the 13 or 14, you'd be set. Unfortunately, I bought them in like the 18 range, so I'm still making my money back. But with the dividends, it is helping. YMAX is doing a little bit better, up 3.5%. Can't complain. AMZY is actually positive 1.09%, which just goes to show you the price action on this one has been holding up. Not as good as I wanted to. It is still down 16.4% year to date, but the dividends are counteracting that. And now it is trending slightly upward, but this is not one that I'm buying and holding for a long time. I'll just say it. I will say, out of all of these, the only ones I hold are YMAG, YMAX, ULTY, and MSTY outside of this account. Apparently, I should be buying some PLTY because it's absolutely kicking booty, but we'll get to that. NVDY is positive by 0.86%. Can't really complain. Not terrible, but it should be doing a little bit more. But I do want to see the chart on this one because it has bounced back quite a bit from the low of 13 back up to 1660. But again, when we bought this, it was 23. So not happy about that by any means. And I do think it will do better. The weekly payer for NVDY, NVDW by Roundhill has been kicking out some good returns and good dividends. So I am kind of surprised to see that it is outperforming NVDY. And I will say it goes for a lot of these. PLTY is underperforming PLTW. And what those are, they're the leveraged weekly payers. And I'll link a video for those of you that are interested in the weekly payers after this. They're all from Roundhill, and they've been doing really well, outperforming a lot of these. Then we have MSTY, positive 17.82%. That is crazy. We're 6 months into the year. If it could keep doing that, that would be outstanding. You'd see what, a 30-something% return, 34%, almost 35. You can't even complain. You really can't. I know there are a lot of diehard MSTY fans, and the dividends have been falling a little bit, but I think the fan base is going to keep this thing alive and well no matter what. Then we have XYZY, the worst performer. It's down 31.29%. That's quick math. Not happy with this one at all. Like I said earlier, it's just been a flop. And I put it in this because everyone was like, oh, think about it. Maybe it'll bounce back. And it never really did. I should have put MRNY because I hear that one's doing a lot better. Let me know in the comments if it is. Maybe I could swap them out at this point. It'd be tough, but I could try and do it. Then we have PLTY, the best performer in the account. PLTY is positive by 54.85%. That is remarkable. You're on pace for a 100% return in literally a year, even plus some 110% return, which is outstanding. And again, it's because of PLTR. And we can see a lot of this too is actually the price appreciation. Well, maybe not so much. Year to date, no, it's actually down 2.41%. PLTW has a lot more price appreciation, but this thing was at one point $95 and we fell back to sub 70. That's crazy. If you had bought in the 58 and sold out anywhere near the top in the 90s, you'd be sitting really pretty. And last but not least, ULTY. We're positive by $5.23 or a 5.23% return. And this one's chart is really important. This is where they switched to weeklies. It was mid-March. So we did see this thing fall from $9 all the way to $6. And then now it's gone from 6 to sub 6, but it bounced back. And now we're seeing it trade in the 6s. And maybe it'll hit 7s again at one point. And I would be happy with that. I bought this a couple of weeks ago because the dividends have been really solid. And I've been impressed by the fact that it's able to retain its NAV now. Now, that's in this market. Who knows what it's actually going to do in the long term, but I am a fan of ULTY, and I have a bunch of content about it on the channel for those that are interested. So I hope you guys did enjoy this breakdown. Again, just to summarize, our top winner is PLTY. Second place is MSTY. No surprise there. Our worst performers are not even close. By far, the worst is XYZY, and in second place, we have TSLY. So those are the ones to watch for. Are they going to bounce back? I don't know, but my top performers I'm really happy with, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this breakdown. Don't forget, if you're interested in this style of content, to check out these videos popping up, one of which is the podcast that I am. Again, it was so much fun to film with Marcos, and check out his channel if you haven't. He does growth investing, and he's really, really good at it. And second, like and subscribe if you like this style of content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.